Saturday. What's up, TikTok? What's up, IG? What's up, YouTube? How's everyone doing today? Good morning. Good morning. My name is Alicia B from Alicia B Coaches. Hello, Leo. How are you today? How are you? Again, my name is Alicia B from Alicia B Coaches, and I do Q&A on no code tech jobs. So if you're interested in a specific tech job, you can drop it in the chat and I'll talk about it. Other than that, I talk about how you can transition into a career with no coding experience and no college degree. So the reason why no college degree is basically about 10 to 15 years ago, all the big companies realized that the trick to learning programming is not necessarily to go to college, because they started hiring all these programmers that had really specific experience and no college degree. So these guys are super smart, right? They're super analytical and they taught themselves how to code. So the reason why that's important is that once you teach yourself one programming language, once you get started at that job, you can teach yourself other programming languages. I've been in tech for about 15 years. Yeah, I've been in tech for about 15 years and I've met a lot of programmers who were absolutely self taught. The other thing I notice is basically every 3 years, some new programming language comes out. So I ask, my coworkers, I'm like, so how do you figure out what the next big thing is? And basically, they're like, in their spare time, they start researching different programming languages and just playing around with it on their own. And then they'll pick a couple, focus on those. And it turns out that at least 75% of whatever they picked, their managers are coming to them saying, hey, I need you to learn this because we want to do XYZ, right? The other thing is that most most companies have a training budget, so that in addition to those programmers learning how to hello Ali, hello Juggy, uh, in addition to those programmers learning how to code on their own, their jobs are also willing to send them to training basically every year. At most of the companies I worked with, the rule was you could go to one conference per year and you could get one or two certs like every other year. That way, as a programmer, you kind of stayed up to date. So the reason why I say this for the no code jobs is the reason we can get a no code job is because there's a ton of programmers, right, that are doing the coding jobs and they like it, but they don't necessarily want to talk to people. They don't want to argue with people. They don't want to work with timelines. So then that's when people like us come in, right? We want to talk to people. We want to develop the relationships. We want to be the blockers to protect the programmers, to make sure, hi Mariana and Saima, we are the blockers to make sure that the programmers have plenty of time to basically program. So it's like those two roles go together. The no code roles and the coding roles go together. Good morning, Elaine. Happy Saturday. So now that we talked a little bit about programming, someone did leave me a message on one of my videos on TikTok, and they said, "What about SQL? Do I need to learn how to use SQL?" And honestly, you don't have to learn how to use SQL. So generally, there are different types of business analysts, and business analyst is the role that I suggest everybody do first. And generally, if a company is expecting you to know how to use SQL, they're really expecting that out of a senior business analyst, not a junior or entry level business analyst. So for entry level, you don't need to know how to do it. So SQL is kind of like baby code. It's, it stands for Standard Query Language, SQL. And it comes into statements. It's basically like baby code for you to figure out how to do research into databases. Um, I have taken some SQL classes, and when I needed to use SQL, it was for me to try to figure out why a report wasn't working correctly. So, what I used to do is I bought king size Snickers, and at the time, I lived in Michigan. So I also bought coffee gift cards to Tim Hortons. Hey, Andre. And I would just go to my engineers and say, hey, I need you to write me a SQL statement to help figure out what's wrong with this report, right? You can get this king size Snickers, or you can get this coffee gift card. So they would write the statement, send it to me, and then I would save it. Oh, Andre, I've never met you before. Maybe if you come to my lives more often and we get to know each other, then I could let you join. If you had a question or a topic, drop it in the chat and we can talk about it. Um, so I would just bribe them basically with sugar and coffee. Once they wrote the statement, I saved it. And every single time I need to deep dive in a report, I just reread that same statement, right? To get the information that I needed. So for right now, for entry level, you do not need to know SQL. Hey, Khadija, good morning. Another question I had is I know a lot of people are going to get Scrum Master certs because they have read that Scrum Master is a great role. Scrum Master is a good role, but it is not an entry level role. So, what a Scrum Master does is they help to run and manage a tech team. Um, and in running them and managing the tech team, they also need to understand how to resolve issues, problems. And some of those problems could be what happens when the engineers are fighting over work, or what happens when other people are doing shoulder taps. So, a shoulder tap is when someone's just walking up to an engineer on the team asking them to do work instead of going through the proper process, because they think, oh, this is just quick. Can't you help me out? No, because anytime that engineer is helping somebody out on a side project, that means they're not actually doing their real work, right? So the Scrum Master's job is to make sure to block those people, block shoulder taps. Scrum Masters also need to know how to go to different people to resolve different problems. So let's say the engineers say, hey, I'm running into a problem because I don't have access to this table. The Scrum Master has to go to another team, negotiate access. Or maybe there's a hardware issue. I need an actual physical, like, server, like the old school server, the big thing that you go and slide into the rack. Maybe they need that. Then the Scrum Master's job is to figure out how to go get that. So if the only thing you know about technology and tech teams is that 3 week certification, right, that you took, you have no idea how to solve any of those problems. So that's why if you actually go in and read some of the um, some of the Scrum Master job descriptions, they want people with 3, 4, 5, 6 years of experience. Because to be a good Scrum Master, you have to have been on a tech team to know what a tech team needs to grow. So generally, like a career path would be someone's a Scrum Master after they were a developer, a tester, or a business analyst for a few years. Then they take the knowledge that they have from already being on the team and seeing how other Scrum Masters work, seeing how a team resolves problems. They take that, then they go get their Scrum Master certification, and then they start applying for Scrum Master roles. So generally, they try to become a Scrum Master in the company they're currently in, right? Once they've done that for a few years, then they'll try to jump companies. And normally, When that happens and they jump companies, that's when they can get that big pay boost, like a 10 to 15 grand pay boost. And talking to people, I've noticed that they try not to stay anywhere longer than 5 years, because once they hit 5 years, then it's harder to get those big pay bumps. So they end up making more money by just going to another company. All right. Anyone on TikTok have questions? Drop them in the chat. Hello, one. Good morning. Happy Saturday. I hope everyone is doing well this Saturday. Thank you for hanging with me while I take my morning vitamins. You take vitamins every day, but swallowing pills is just, uh, it never gets easy for me. Let me get a little bit more of this pastry and then we can jump back in to the convo, and I can talk to you about where you can find my free resources. Hi, Superman. Hi, AP. Hey, Tracy. If you have questions, drop them in the chat. Hi, Cassie. Hey, Tammy. Hey, Madison. Mm. All right. Once again, I'm Alicia B. Happy Saturday. Good morning. My business is called Alicia B Coaches. I help women with at least 5 years of work experience pivot into careers in technology, without learning how to code and without going back and getting a college degree. The way that I do that is I basically coach groups of people in my membership. I have 2 membership levels that are in my Patreon. Um, In addition to that, if you don't want to join the Patreon, I do offer one on one coaching, and one on one coaching can be purchased in the Patreon as well. Basically, I have free events, free Q&A on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Central, Saturdays, 9 a.m. Central. During my lives, I just talk about whatever tech topics come to mind. Generally, my topics are introductory level. If you want to dive deeper, join my membership or purchase one-on-one coaching. The way the membership works is both levels have a free 7-day trial. So you can get in there, you can see the content that's there, you can save it down. And if it's not what you're interested in, go ahead and cancel before the 7 days, right? And then you don't pay anything. So it's a great opportunity for you to see what I offer, for you to come to some of my sessions to see, if we have that connection. Hey, Leo, you spun the block and came back. You got some questions? Hey, Lady T. Um, so well, where is I? Oh yeah, membership. Yeah. So in my membership, there's 2 levels, right? A basic level and advanced level. Technically, there's 3 levels because I do have a section in my membership called free content, and the free content is absolutely free. I started writing an ebook, right? So I took like the first 10 pages of my ebook and just put it out there for free. I cover Hey Bailey, I cover how tech teams work, I cover why business analyst is the best entry level tech job for people to get into technology. Um, and then I also have a resource page. So on my resource page, I list a lot of resources for what to do to study to prepare for those job interviews, right? There are some agile project management tools that you need to know and some other organizational tools. Some of those tools are like Microsoft Azure DevOps, Jira, PlanView, Rally, Asana, Mural, Miro. I know it sounds like a lot, but once you actually like look at the tool, figure out what it's used for, um, it kind of gets, it becomes like muscle memory. So Microsoft Azure DevOps, its nickname is ADO. ADO and Jira are both Kanban boards. So a Kanban board is basically like, just think of it as three columns. You have stuff I want to do, stuff I started, stuff that's in process, stuff that's blocked, stuff that's done. So when you have the columns, there's cards on each column. You can move them along the column from left to right. So basically, on each card, you're just tracking pieces of work. Once you've seen it a couple times, then it's easier for you to pick up all the other ones. So Asana is also a type of Kanban board. So is Monday. There's a few other ones out there. Some other tools that are used are planning tools. So an example of that would be like Trello, Mural, and Miro. So Mural is Mural, and Miro is Miro. Let's see if I can put that in the chat. Comment. So Mural and Miro. So these are kind of like a whiteboard. And we use whiteboards in Agile for just taking notes, writing user stories, doing diagrams, writing work processes. And what I mean by writing work processes, I mean like the team together may discuss a process. We're actually drawing it out on a board. Um, People are taking turns drawing things out. And then at the end of that meeting, you're handing that over to a business analyst and they're taking that design and they're putting it into like PowerPoint or something, and then they're going to save that down and do something else with it. So these are tools that are good to know when you're going to interview for those jobs. But if you're interviewing for a junior business analyst, then the company already knows that you're entry level and that you have a general knowledge about the tool, right? As entry level, they're just looking for general knowledge. They really want people who know how to teach themselves, who know how to work with people. That's really who they're looking for. They're not looking for anyone that's an expert in Mural or Miro, right? They just want to know that you know what it is, you've seen it before, and you've worked with it. And a lot of those companies like Miro and Mural, they'll let you do like a free trial or something. Um, or they just have like a free entry level where you can get in, look around, and see what it is. Hi, Nuria, Frankie Geechee, user. Hello, Yesenia. Hello, Nanny. Again, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. We're just chit chatting about tech tools and agile process management tools. Let me put that in the chat too. So, um, ADO and Jira are agile process management tools. They basically help people manage those chunks of work. Agile process management tools. And managing chunks of work is just keeping track of what it is, who asked for it, um, is it done, how quickly did it get done, right? Because other people want to know, how is that Agile team doing? Is that Agile team really getting all their work done? Or are they facing blockers? Or are they having other issues? So sometimes a team can take on too much work. Like, let's say there's 3 engineers and they take on 4 or 5 engineers worth of work, right? Then that some of that work is just sitting there and it's not getting delivered to whoever asked for it. And that's a problem. So their scrum master can help them do planning better so that they don't take on so much work, right? Or they'll give them a different scrum master, or they'll give them a different scrum master altogether because maybe the scrum master that they have doesn't have enough experience in order to solve that problem. Hey T, hey Kiki, hi Layla, good morning. Hello, thanks for joining, friends. I'm just wrapping up. I talked about pivoting into a career in technology, why you don't need SQL, why you don't need SQL in order to get those entry level positions, why Scrum Masters need to actually know something about Agile teams in order to get a Scrum Master role. And now I'm just wrapping things up. Um, Awesome. So the question is, hey, I work help desk currently and want to get paid more. Where do I start? I do have a website. My link is in the bio. But generally, if you're working at the help desk, then you do have some basic knowledge about technology, right? So at the company you're currently working for, go and find the business analyst role. So generally, that company will list everything that they're looking for a BA. Most of the time, what they want is they want someone who understands processes, who understand procedures, which you already do. So because you work in the help desk, right? You already know how that company does a ton of things, right? And if you've been at that help desk for at least 5 years, you know enough people in the company that you can maneuver and you feel comfortable asking other people questions. So part of that is called relationship management. And when they say we're looking for someone who builds relationships or communicates well, when they ask you that question, yes, you do everything for the whole company. When they ask you that question, you can say, hey, I'm good at building relationships because I already work at y'all's help desk, right? So, what I would suggest is learning more about how Agile teams work. Your current company may actually pay for you to do some Agile training. You just need to tell your actual supervisor that you're interested in learning more about the business analyst role. Another suggestion is a job shadow. Like you tell your supervisor, hey, I want to know more about Agile teams. Can I do a job shadow with a business analyst, a project manager, and an engineer? The reason why I suggest you job shadow an engineer, it's not that you want their job, but you want to know how to work with that person, right? So, in order to help you build that relationship and know how to work with engineers, job shadow them too, right? And then once you're in the job shadow, ask them, what tools are you using? Does our company use ADO or Jira? Most companies is one or the other. It's not both. I've been at a company that used both. It was an absolute nightmare. Like, y'all just pick one thing. But anyway, while you're on your job shadow, make sure to ask them, what tools are we using? Um, what organizations are we using? So, yes. So yeah, job shadowing is a great idea. So you want to know, is it ADO, Jira, or Rally? Number one. Second, you want to know, how are they saving the documentation? You may already know this because you're at the help desk. Are they using Confluence? Are they using Asana? Are they using just Excel spreadsheets, right? just just find out that way, and then start applying for those roles. Because you already work for the company, I wouldn't suggest that you spend extra money trying to get a certification. Like, don't spend your own money. um, oh, awesome. Don't spend your own money to get a certification. Do the job shadow first, right? Ask them what tools they're using. Ask them how other people have gotten the job that they're currently in, right? Because then you'll get to know who in recruiting is the recruiter that handles business analysts. Because sometimes it's only one or two recruiters and they hire all the BAs, right? And if you're already working in the company, look them up on Teams. Hey, can I talk to you about for about 15 minutes? Can I just set up a meeting so I can learn more about what you're looking for in a business analyst? Because I'm interested in the role, right? So honestly, the best way to get a BA job is to already work for the company as something else. So do the job shadowing, ask questions, see if you can figure out who that recruiter is, talk to that recruiter, and go look at the work description and really see everything that they're looking for and make sure you check that box. Oh, you're totally welcome, Kiki. I think my email address is in my link in bio on TikTok. Send me an email. I'd love to talk to you more. Just send me an email directly and say you saw me on TikTok, and then we can set up a free call and talk more. Hey, Alan. Hey, Lulu. Hey, Joy. So I am wrapping up. Just want to talk a little bit about what's on my website. My website is like one page and some articles. I really spend more time on my Patreon, which is where the membership is. So my website is link in bio. When you go to my website, it's going to direct you to the Patreon page. On the Patreon page, I do have a collection of free content, and the free content has a free ebook. Please download the free ebook. The ebook is a summary of some of the topics that I talk about in live. Um, and then, did I cover everything? The website, yeah, I covered the website, the Patreon, and I do have some free training classes that are over on YouTube, and I also have videos of my previous lives. So, again, my name is Alicia B of Alicia B Coaches, and I help women pivot into technology careers. That's it. Thanks for hanging out today. See you guys next time. I go live on Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Central, and Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. Central. I hope everyone has a good rest of your day. See you later, YouTube, TikTok, IG. Have a good day. And